So we have a very interesting report that does suggest we could see the M2 MacBook Pro launch next month. And so let's delve into it, but first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours, and with that being said, let's just tuck in. So the source of this report is DigiTimes, a not so credible source, and so do take this with a grain of salt. But allegedly, according to their sources, Apple's supply chain partners kept production running during the Lunar New Year holiday for this new MacBook Pro, and we should see it launch in early March. DigiTimes also says that apart from the chip, everything else should be the same as the current model. So yes, a bunch of confusing information to be honest, and I don't think any of it makes sense. For one, I just don't see the point in Apple giving us this new version of the base Pro if everything else, apart from the chip, is gonna be the exact same, because we know the Air's gonna get a massive redesign and also a mini LED panel, and so this is gonna pale in comparison. And really, when someone walks into a store and sees both of these machines, why would they get the Pro? The Air's gonna look way better with its fun colours, the new design, and so yes, I just don't see the point in Apple giving us a base Pro. And as I've said many times in previous videos, the base Pro can be killed off since the Air's not underpowered anymore, and so of course, for 99% of users, the M1 MacBook Air and the M2 Air is going to be perfectly fine. And especially when there's no redesign and also no mini LED on the base Pro, this is a completely pointless release. But let's actually delve into the release, because a March release makes no sense for this MacBook. You see, Apple's not going to release any of the M2 Max before they finish updating the higher end versions, since to many consumers, M2's a higher number than 1, and so even if the M1 Max and the M1 Max Duo are better chips, consumers are going to assume the M2's the better chip since 2 is higher than 1. And so it's going to be a mess to release these M1 variants and M2 Max at the same time, and so I do think for the first half of the year we're going to see the rest of the higher end Max, and then Apple can move on to the M2 models later in 2022. And to be honest, I would not be surprised if DigiTimes is mixing things up and thinks the MacBook Pros being produced right now are new models, when they're just the existing M1 Pro / M1 Max versions, which are still out of stock. And well, with the demand for these MacBooks still being pretty high, I do think it makes sense. The MacBooks produced over the Lunar New Year holiday was the M1 Pro / M1 Max version, and Apple's simply catching up on the insane demand. And so yes, I'm pretty sure we're seeing no refresh to the base Pro in March, or even ever, to be honest. But guys, tell me your thoughts. Do you think the base Pro is going to see a refresh at the spring event? Anyways, thank you for watching guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the video in the card above on details regarding the iPhone 14 series. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya peeps.